Namaste, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity to actually give me some time to speak on this stage in front of all of you esteemed people. Um, what I have achieved is very small uh, in relationship to the hundreds of people in terms of the children that I've been working in my school with and their families and a lot of women across the country. So I think I will stick to speaking about children and education. My aim today is to plant a small seed in all your minds about what you can think of education and children, and maybe that can go from you to many, many people outside of this room. Because as far as I can see, all of you are pretty influential people in your own fields, and that is why you're here. Is that a promise? Can I expect that? Will you go back and will you please plant this seed in all the people that you know? Okay? So what I'm here to speak about is Education 4.0. Have you heard of it? So the Industrial Revolution now is in our fourth Industrial Revolution. And if you can see, we are into a lot of internet boom. And we have a lot of artificial intelligence, and everything that can work on rules is being automated. And there's a lot of talk about all of our jobs disappearing. Have you heard about this? And in this scenario, our country is one of the countries where our average age of our country is going to be 29 years next year. That means the average human being in our country is going to be 29. And our country, as you know, because of the population, we are like one of the largest population in the world, which means that we have opportunity for really young, hardworking, fresh blood to actually pump up our GDP, right? So what does this mean? Now we are saying that there will be lack of jobs because we will not be having the jobs that we see today because they will be automated, and we are going to see lakhs of students and children that as adults will look for jobs. Both seem contradictory, right? And that is why there is a need now to relook at education and see how our children can fit into this world. And what kind of a world will that be, and what kind of jobs and lifestyles they will have. And one of the foremost things to think in that direction is for us to think that education is no longer to survive. Isn't that what we were taught? Roti kapda makan. Right? We have to work because otherwise you will not get something. But our children have, in terms of roti, they have bhaturas and they have rotis and they have parathas and they have tortillas and they have all options. Pita bread also, right? In terms of kapda, you have all the fashion brands that you can afford, fast fashion and everything. In terms of makan, by the time they are 16 or 18, you will definitely have at least 2 or 3 such homes. So what will our children strive for? None of this, right? So add to this. So now we have geared up population, which is young and thriving, and we don't have jobs that look like anything like today, and we don't have the motivation, right? And that's why we have to rethink education. And so if education is not to survive, then what should it be? It should be to thrive. What does thrive mean? Thrive means that we will look into every aspect of our lives and see how our children of today, who will become the adults of tomorrow, will actually, benefit and contribute to every aspect that you can think of. And for that kind of education which can help our children to thrive, we need to relook at what teaching is. Teaching or parenting now is no more delivery. It's no more like this is what it is and this is what you take. Parenting is not about this is what I'm telling you and this is what you do. It's now become design. What can you do in the form of parenting and teaching that can actually help the child to design his life, his future, and his toolkit for life? What is this toolkit for life? When we were small, it was padhai likhai, reading, writing, spelling, math, a bit of analytical skills, and English. But today it is not about that, because all of this Google can do. Siri can do it for you. You can ask her to read and she will read. You don't even have to read. She will also type. Not Siri, but other platforms. So what exactly do we want to teach these children? So in the area, in the life that we are going to have of automation, humanized jobs is what will help our children thrive. Jobs that will look at helping people, at engaging community, at doing things with your own hands, of making an impact, like the lady before was speaking about. Impact is going to be the biggest career objective that will help our children thrive. What is that impact that you can make? So gone are the days when we can tell our children, mind your own business, don't look at other people, you just think of your studies, you do well. When a child comes home, we were asked actually, "Bakiyon ko kitna mila?" and you should be better than everybody else. Now it's not about that. It's about all of us together working in unison so that all of us can grow. And I have tried that for 10 years. So the class average is what decides how children do in my school. And every child is responsible for getting that class average up. And the class average is not only marks in studies. It's about what kind of impact do you have on your community, which is your immediate school, school community and your outside community. What kind of impact can you have in designing solutions for problems that come up around you? What kind of impact that you can have at home? What is the feedback that your parents are giving about what kind of a citizen you are at your home first? Right? These are the kind of things that we will have to bring in, and we'll have to design these kind of interventions and outcomes that can help our children thrive in the future. And for that, the kind of education that we have today is still focused almost 80 to 90% on academics, which is something that is completely automated. By the time they grow up, it will be. So what else can you do in schools? Can we all do in schools? One definitely is to remove the complete focus on this kind of an output-based education where marks decide everything. Marks is just memory. Yes, of course, redesign of the examination systems and all that is required. But before that, I think when it's design of the education system and the teaching, what we need to look at is bring skilling, is to bring a lot of daily life objectives that can be taken into consideration to help these children. And for that, the best thing is to live what we are talking about, is to allow children to thrive in a community-based schooling where everybody lives together, learns together, not only in control groups of your class, where a third grade child only meets third grade students, but meets everybody, adults and children and parents and the community on a daily basis. Because when you meet people in a community, there is friction. When there is friction, there is an opportunity for conflict management, for decision making, and a lot of life skills that we learn alongside. And alongside, I think our country is making a lot of progress in terms of tinkering labs, make in India. I think we should just grab all these opportunities and make that as the objective of every class that we are teaching or every child that we're working with. So today when you go back home, instead of asking, school mein kya kiya, kitna padha, kitne marks aaye, ask your child, what difference did you make to the society around you? What new thing did you learn? What's the skill that you have brought today? How did you help somebody else? How were you helped? Did you learn to collaborate with someone? Did you stop to observe someone and help them? These are the questions that we should ask children. And then I think the child will automatically grow into a human being, and whatever he does, whether it is a design-based job or whether he's a dentist or whether he's a doctor, whatever, the only aim will be to make a difference. And trust me, when the aim is to make a difference, you automatically are a compassionate person, you will think of others, you automatically will see how best you can do things, you automatically will use resources to the best of your abilities, right? So you don't have to tell this generation, conserve water, plant trees, right? Because it's automatic. So if we all can take back some of these thoughts and transmit it to the people around you, I think I will be blessed. Thank you so much.